to breathe fresh air. To fill my lungs. There's a faint trace of poopy in the air. But other than that, it's pretty fresh, crisp. Well, the poopy's coming in a little bit more right now, but easy to take this for granted. Fresh, poopy air. Very easy to concentrate on the poopiness of it all. And forget the fresh part, right? It's like the poopy overcomes the fresh. Why doesn't the fresh overcome the poopy? And, of course, it's like this across the board. All of life is like this. Think of how we as human beings abuse one another by selecting the imperfect, preferring it above the rest, and saying that, you're wrong because of this one little thing. I may have mentioned this. I like to tell the story a lot, and maybe if you've heard it before, it'll be the one thing that you hold against me instead of all the 99 things about me that you appreciate. And I take this risk every time I open my mouth, that you will prefer to judge me harshly for that one thing. That one thing. Maybe we were at a gathering and I farted, and there's that poopy smell in the air, and you decided to disregard all the wonderful things I said that evening over wine and crudités, because there was that faint trace of poopiness in the air. There's a prejudice in the world against poopy scents. Makes sense. Because from an evolutionary perspective, our ancestors couldn't be hanging around such things. And if such things were in the air, then we had to get such things out of there. And we're not living in caves today, but apparently our instincts still are. And so I do my best to scrub all of my orifices, make sure they're really clear and clean, and because I've noticed that it's not just one orifice per se. I mean, one orifice, yes, that's the chief designation for the chief location for the but if your other orifices aren't attended to properly, then the sense of poopy expands, and it's not centralized in one location, it's all over. And then people can get really prejudiced towards you about that. Really prejudiced. I mean, like, even talking about it now, I'm considered lowbrow. I lack class, as they say. And really, I'm just trying to have a philosophical discourse. I'm trying to edify you as I edify myself spontaneously, just off the cuff. You may not have thought of all these ramifications, repercussions. I know that when I settle down, really tune in to the present moment, like we are doing now, that I'm always on the verge of some kind of indiscreet activity. Like it's waiting here in the present moment just to come, like Jaws. Poopy scent in the air, judging me for being indiscreet. I lack class. And yet, do a little soul searching yourself and you'll find the answer that I found. Something indiscreet is always about to happen. Something indiscreet is always happening. Always. And you do yourself a real disservice to say otherwise and to pretend to be all civil and polite, discreet. It's always happening. That's what I found in the present moment. I don't have any control. I know I like to pretend that I do. But you smelled it earlier. How'd that poopy scent get in the air? It's just hanging there. And you look at me with that disapproving gaze. And I already feel like I let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. I feel bad. I know you're looking at that one thing that I did wrong. And I know you're judging me for it. And I'm internalizing the judgment, I'm taking it inside. And I'm messing myself up. I'm messing myself up. All because of how I've inconvenienced you. With a poopy. My girlfriend, I hope she doesn't see this video. She hates that word. She hates it even more when I say it. It's the one thing that drives her off the cliff. What a way to go. You've seen those TV shows. Car goes over the cliff. What would it take? What would it take for you to lose control? What would it take for you to stop pretending that you are in control? What would it take for you to come back into the present and to feel all the things that want to happen right now in your body, in your mind? Do you hear me? Are you picking up what I am laying down? What I'm trying to do is tell you that we're the same. Right now. And now, we are the same. These are all sorts of functions that are bubbling to the surface that we're repressing, and because we do that, we create such a state of pressurized containment that we could barely stand it. And yet, here we are, holding in the gas, feeling bloated, cramped, stitches in our side. All because we don't want to be hated, all because there's a prejudice against the poopy. We are the same. You and I. All the superficial differences, and yet gas is being created now in our gastrointestinal tract. We're the same. Why do we gotta pretend that just because I'm a guy and you're a girl, I'm straight and you're gay, black, white, we are the same. We've all got gas. We're all deathly terrified of premature poopies entering the air. We are. Don't laugh. This is not funny. It's not funny. Think of how you suppress yourself just to be polite, to be civil for the sake of etiquette, decorum. You gonna do that your whole life? Or are you gonna join me and be free? I know. It's too much. But I want you to imagine, you know the way that it used to be with humans. And before we started to just keep each other down. We would be at a banquet table, a feast. It was the Middle Ages. We were drinking out of big goblets. Beards with wine dripping down and farting, burping, all throughout the evening. You know we were doing that. And then when we were done munching on the bone, we'd toss it over the side and the dog would gnaw on it and the dog would fart. Yeah. Everybody, the whole banquet hall up in fumes. And if anybody were to light a flame, kapow, boom, bam, blow, the entire castle would blow up. But here you are, farting in the privacy of your own quarters as you watch me on this screen. Look how far we've come. We used to be so primeval, so barbaric, savages farting all day long into the night, on holidays and weekends, all the time. My oh my, how the mighty have farted. You start to see? You see the adventure that I'm taking us on here? You started with all this prejudice against the poopy, just that little scent in the air. And now look where we are. We've realized that we are the fallen ones. That our ancestors are the ones who had it right. And no, I'm not just glorifying them, it's true. They let them rip. They were not all constrained nor constipated. Right? They didn't have to hold it all in. And when you hold it all in, what happens? You go to the grave with regrets. That's right, you didn't fart enough. You held yourself back, and then you realize, oh shoot, that's what I did with everything. I held it all in my whole life. It started with the fart, but then it went into my dreams. I had dreams and I gave them up, and on my deathbed, I regretted not pursuing my dreams, but that's all because I held the farts in. I was too ashamed of letting the poopies fly, and then just offending everybody. So I gave up my dreams because I was afraid of offending people down at the bottom there, on the level of the physical, the gross body. Just down there it started, and then it all just... You can't ever get it back, you know? I mean, can you imagine going to the grocery store and you're going through the checkout line, right? Express checkout where you're checking yourself out in the mirror, and you're checking yourself out with your own items, and there's no cashier, and you're just checking out. And you let one rip. And everybody around you just looks at you, and some of them laugh, and some are just aghast, and they're just so judgmental, and they actually say things like you're deplorable. And yet, in your mind, in your imagination, you had just taken a time machine 500 years back, and you were at a banquet hall in a castle with a king, farting all night long. And everybody loved it. Everybody laughed. Everybody added in their own fart in a chorus of joy. All flatulence abounding through the banquet hall. Dogs, cats, or whatever other medieval creatures were in the bestiaries surrounding the castle. It all synchronized. And here I am, pariah, ostracized by my fellow citizens, outcast, simply because I don't want to suppress myself, simply because I know that all this trapped gas inside is gonna get me in the end. It's gonna defeat me like it's defeated you. And both of us are gonna give up our dreams